How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week. Is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday? Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. Started. Why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Let me switch over the scenes with the software. I did not load it just yet. I forgot. So I'm gonna have to do it with my mouse while the software loads. Here we go. We changed one of the scenes. But come on, Stream Deck, load up. There we go. Stream Deck is loading and we should be good to go. Let me make sure the mic is picking up. Sometimes the mic doesn't pick up, but looks like all things are good. How's everyone doing? It feels like it's a Monday because I didn't stream yesterday. But no, it is Thursday. Final stream of the week. Wow. So I won't be seeing you tomorrow. So let's have as much fun as we can today. Hit the like, hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Let's talk about some of the market moves. I mean, to be honest, I got home really late yesterday after the trading event. Yesterday there was a Traders for a Cause event. I got a brand new Clear Street hat. The old one looked really old, so I switched it up for a brand new one. It was a fun event. I got to connect with Sang Lucci. For those of you who know Sang Lucci, he's a big options trader, zero DTE options trader mostly. So I got to connect with him, got to connect with the Traders for a Cause people, some Toronto, Brampton, Milton, mainly like Canadian, my backyard traders. As I was saying, most of the time the people I meet on Discord, on Twitter are all American. Very rarely do you see a Canadian trader. So having the first ever Traders for a Cause meetup in Toronto, in Canada. Well, maybe not in Canada because I do think they've done it in Vancouver before. But the first one in Toronto was a fun to go to. Finally got to meet some new faces, got to connect with a lot of people, and obviously get drunk. So got absolutely sloshed. By the time I got home, it was stupid late with the public transit and everything. And I said, I'm not waking up in the morning because I wake up, I'm gonna still be drunk, most likely hungover. I'm not gonna be able to trade properly at all. So got some good sleep in, woke up around 12 o'clock or so, and started to take some trades. Had a decent day, had a nice little green day. To be honest, I had a pretty bad day to start. but I was able to turn that around and hit 3 good trades right after. So I had 1 really bad trade to start the day, and then I hit 3 really good trades right after to help me turn my bad day around to a nice little green day. Nothing like it was yesterday, but a nice little green day to pad to the wins. Let's talk about some moves in the after hours. So UNH, Buffett and who is it? Michael Burry. So Buffett and Burry announcing that they are going to be buying up. Was it Buffett or was it Burry or was it both of them? I think someone told me that it was Buffett, but I know it's Burry, but it was also Buffett at the same time. At the end of the day, the whole idea is you're getting big investors buying up UNH, and that one is pushing the stock back to the upside. Intel had a nice pop intraday today. That was the US government saying they're going to invest in Intel. Whoa. So now if you work for Intel, you're a public employee. That's a crazy story. We'll look more into that. A couple stocks that were really strong on the day. Amazon was insane. Very relatively strong, especially when the market was a little back and forth for the most part. PPI came out hotter, but market looked actually weak at 1.2. But Amazon just ridiculously strong. Apple looked good. Tesla pulled back again. Google looked fine. Trying to remember if I did look at the other 2-3 tech stocks or not, but for the most part, the most fun today was on Circle, CoreWeave. Had I actually woken up and traded the morning today, I believe CoreWeave and Circle would have been something that I would have focused on and made some good money on. But later on in the day, they gave me good opportunities, made some money on them, and had a good day overall. So why don't we go to the full screen, show you guys the trades that I posted on Twitter today. Oh, come on, you're not working? All right, we'll just have to use our mouse. Stream Deck doesn't want to work today. So my trades on the day, let's quickly head over to my profile. If you're not following me already, it's Trader TV. Sorry, not Trader TV. Wow, I'm still in the same old flow, same mindset. It's TraderPrad is my username or ID at TraderPrad. Come follow me on all social media. So basically missed most of the downside move off the open. I think Circle was at 156, much higher to the upside. But waking up around 12 o'clock, basically saw the stock go channel sideways and then pull back to VWAP. But then somewhere around this area, one of my friends mentioned that he liked the VWAP continuation setup on Circle. I actually looked at this area and looked at the low a day and figured, maybe it doesn't actually go back to low a day, but at least I'll have a scalp of $2 that's possible if the stock actually pulls back into this area. But with the amount of weakness that the stock had, I think they actually priced in their share offering for, was it CoreWeave or was it Circle, for $130. They're both at such similar prices. I'm always getting confused with these names. Circle, I think pretty sure this one's getting priced at 130. This absolutely insane weakness from yesterday. Earnings report gap up to the sell-off to the breakdown of the range low 149 and then pull back into VWAP, staying under 147, staying under VWAP, and then just selling off to a new low. So insane trades today. If you were watching the market, all you have to do is participate. Wake up and show up. Sometimes that's all it takes. Just wake up, show up, be ready to play the game. Let me see if I can open up. What was my other stock that I traded today? I guess that was my main trade. But I did have a trade on Amazon. Let me see if I can pull this one up for us. Oh, I should be able to pull it up this way instead. Where is my profile on Discord? Amazon, open original, open link. There we go. Okay. So here's my Amazon long. Took the high day breakout, very channeled sideways late on into the day, but you know, given how weak the market was, you probably don't want to be doing something like this, even, you know, even more when there's not really a big volume spike on this breakout. But the setup is there. Trade the trade, right? My risk is very defined. The 9 EMA or the 9 SMA, however you want to see it, on the 5-minute, it just keeps on going higher and higher and is on an incline to the upside. My risk is very defined, where I don't have to take a lot of you know, risk, and I'll be able to get a nice little move back up. Technically risking 50 cents here, but then as the stock gets back above 232 and just not able to get back under 232, my stop is now break even, and I could have added in this little area if I wanted to with another stop over here, and that would have you know, really exponentialized the scalp potential of this trade. Not only did you get the high day breakout, but you also have buyers stepping up into a new price, into the new price of high on the day, and showing you that they are willing to buy higher and higher prices. In fact, the news catalyst for this one, I saw it much later, was Bill Ackman is now opening a new, I think, a position with $1 billion position or more. I'm not sure exactly what the figure amount is. Maybe we have someone over here telling us. Nope, nothing over there. But from what I saw as a quick glance on one of the Twitter posts, is Bill Ackman, Pershing Square, opening up a new position on Amazon in the $1 billion ranges. So that's why you see an insane bid, an absolute buy program, buying up as many shares as they can as the stock goes higher, and just gave you a very quick, clean, long scalp to the upside from that 232 to the 233 area. 233 also happens to be last year's high. So nice little long scalp over there. Later on, this is a backside scalp. This is basically an SMB's capital setup where you're looking for the stock to create a lower high and a lower low, and then channel on that lower high, on the lower low for a little bit to the sideways, and then you just take the breakdown of that channel, risking the channel high, expecting for a move, at least a 2:1 reward, at least a move to VWAP. But I guess since the stock was just so strong, it just didn't really have that clean of a move as I was looking for. I still think I did fairly well on this stock. You know, when the strength came in this area, I used that to take profits. But then when that area broke down, I got back in and I was able to capture the next little leg. But then market was closing, so I said, you know what, I'm just going to take my profits and run away. So these two trades on the day today basically saved my day overall. Shout out to Amazon, shout out to Circle. I have a watch list ready for us for tonight, mostly including stocks that report earnings and the stocks that have already reported earnings. But if you guys want me to take a look at any stocks, feel free to throw it in the chat. I see Barkit on the YouTube chat already has some stocks for us to take a look at. Oscar, CoreWeave, CNC. Any strong swing levels for AMAT on the long side. UNH loaded Buffett 13F drop today, up 10% after hours. Yep. I need a wellness check because I was long 250. I got stopped out 240, and now here we are at 300. I need a wellness check. Someone get me an anger management coach because I'm gonna kill somebody in game, YouTube, and all other streaming platforms in game. Nah, this is absolutely a sad, another miss from your boy TraderPrad on the swing trade. This is why I say I'm a day trader, okay? This is why I'm a day trader. Big miss on the swing side. We'll see if we can catch a dip buy. I mean, there's still a lot of potential upside left on this name, right? People are not playing UNH for peanuts, but you do have a lot of these mafia hitmen now coming after them, right, Luigi? maybe not all of them, it's just one case. But you also have the government cracking down on companies like these because they are proven to be bad. They are literally scamming people. So not sure really how it all plays out. But when big companies, Berkshire, Short Bear actually has been buying up in this area for a very long time. And he's very happy seeing the stock go back up. Anyone who bought in this area is very happy watching the stock go back up. Obviously, me who bought in this area is not very happy watching the stock go back up because I'm no longer in it. But we'll see, man. Awesome move. Shout out to everyone who said this was the bottom and bought it. As for a day trade, I think tomorrow will be just really watch the action. I think the stock in the after hours is at $300. Did we get above 300? We did slightly get above 300 in the after hours. Boats UNH. There we go. Votes UNH is at 303 at the moment. This is in the blue ocean market and it is trading at 303 with actually decent volume. 500,000 shares traded on that 5-minute candle. I guess not like crazy volume, but it's doing okay volume. 100,000 shares so far traded, and I'm not sure how liquid it is, but potentially some money to be made. If you just went long on the hold at 300, you got a nice move back to the 303 real quick, and then nice scalp. For any of you on Interactive Brokers, that's an opportunity over there. So we'll be interested to see how UNH sets up tomorrow going into the pre-market. I think, last month's high, that's already marked out for me. Thank you, TradingView Indicators. Actually, I made this indicator myself, so thank you, TradingPrad. 318, let's just say 319 to 320. So 319 to 320 area. If UNH is not able to get above that tomorrow for the day trade side, looking long would be a little stupid. So you got to be careful not to press into a new trade. You don't want to be opening a new long position above 318, above 320. If you already have a long somewhere below that into that price, that looks a little bit better because then any weakness around 320 you can just get out, and then if any strength shows up near 320 or above that, then you can add to your position. In the pre-market, if we're already above 320, and off the open if we're holding above 320, then that makes this name a lot more interesting for the long side, for the swing, for the day trade. I mean, this is not really an EP. This is not an episodic pivot just because, Warren Buffett dipped his toes into UNH. But it is good to see that the old man who had a lot of his money on the sidelines for quite a bit is now deciding to dip back into the waters, right? And the UNH is the poison that he's picking. So for sure, gotta be watching this one. AMAT reported earnings today. Let's quickly head over to my trusty tool here. Type in /ER scan. Stream, and then we'll do AMAT, NU, EMC, SNDK, DEJD. We got, and really quickly we'll see if it's actually grabbing the ones we need. Looks like it is grabbing the ones we need, and I can trust it for today. That's good. Sometimes it's scary to trust it. It's also getting the Twitter sentiment and the earnings sentiment, which is good. It's using its own internal thinking language. Maybe I should switch it to Cloud thinking language or Claude thinking language because it thinks better. The Cloud Sonnet 4 thinks better. I'm pretty sure, but we'll see. Okay, let's quickly take a look at the earnings growth metrics. EPS actual versus estimate. AMAT beat. EPS growth by 17% year over year. Revenue, they also beat. Revenue up 8% year over year. That's a beat overall. New core, 40% up year over year on, not new core, new bank, sorry. 40% up year over year on EPS. 40% up on revenue also year over year. So pretty good over there. TMC not looking good. 185%, 233% to the downside. Just absolutely bad miss overall. SNDK. Whoa, that's a EPS beat if that's real. I mean, that is actually a monster beat, and if that's real, the stock should have boosted to the upside. We'll see if it did. JD.com, China #1. Looks like they beat overall. However, their EPS dropped by 49% year over year. Their revenue is growing by 22%. So stock sentiment analysis real quick. We got more notes for their guidance. Cautious tone due to China. I like the way you set up the table today. Shout out to you, AI, for setting up the information in such a neat and beautiful, quickly, easily to understandable way today. Shout out to you, man. Let's go. So cautious tone due to China logic market. Okay, upward EPS revision. Analyst bullish on LATAM expansion. That's the Latin America expansion. TMC. I'm pretty sure you guys were already Latin America because you were Brazilian, but maybe that means like Mexico and so on. Analyst HC Wainwright moderately bullish. Okay. Lifted full year 2025 loss estimate on improved outlook. Analyst consensus moderate buy price target now at. Yo, that's a wide range. What the hell? Most price targets between 56 to 70. Cautious guidance analyst sees value patient investors for DE. For JD, analyst bullish outperform commonly 50 to 53 price target. Where is the stock now? Still in the 30s to 40s if I remember correctly. Additional key metrics, 123 customers in total, 4.1 million net ads overall. Activity rate growing by 83% or is above 83%. Daily active users, shopping frequency year over year, 20 million food orders. Okay, SanDisk up by 12%. Bits now data center launched 256 terabyte NVMe Ultra SSD. Gotta get me one of those because my memory space is dying out. Sentiment score real quick. So sentiment score for AMAT not looking good. NU looking good. TMC flat or bad. SNDK, I thought you would be a little bit better, but okay. DE 5.5. Oh, a little bit of a mixed basket overall. Earning report scan. Yeah, AMAT looks like AMAT might have gone down today. But we'll see if that played out that way. Good score for you. Horrible score for you. Okay score for you. I guess 7.5 out of 10 is not that bad. But when you're Indian or when you're Chinese, you know, 7.5 out of 10, basically you failed for your parents completely. 4.5 and then 7 over here for the last two. Quick takeaways, summary table. This table is probably the only thing I needed at the end of the day. So, ooh, I don't need that. Okay, I mean, I love Perplexity now, man. Perplexity is awesome. You saw how quickly it saved me by having to analyze 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 earnings reports and give me sentiment scores and give me earnings scores. Shout out to Perplexity. AMAT as the sentiment scores and as the earnings scores stand out, even though they did beat. Looks like the stock did get pushed to the downside overall. So let's quickly go to the daily chart here. And looks like we are actually down to where my white lines are on this name. And that's a pretty deep pullback on AMAT. That means we're back into the 200-day moving average. 160-ish or so. 170 is the 200-day moving average. And we're well below it. That means on any pop tomorrow on the stock, going back into that 170 area, if we do get a pop, easy selling opportunities. Right off the bat, I can see one of the historic levels. Last year's high is at 165. Sometimes these levels come back into play. You know, people have some of these lines and they use them. So if they do come back into play, I don't want to be ignoring it completely. And this does not look like to be where's the earnings VWAP? Oh. There we go. Look at that. It lines up right at that 165 area too. 164.63, 165 area. And that just makes it even more of a level to keep an eye out for if we pop into it. So AMAT, earnings VWAP, and that 165 previous last year high to see if we get a nice resistance. And anywhere higher too. I think if we do get a pop, actually, if we do reclaim 165, I might start looking long. So that's an inflection level. We'll see how pre-market sets up on this name. And you expecting a big blast off to the upside. Look at that go. And you, nice little pop back up. Pushing to, why is my dog going crazy? Pushing to the upside again. Holding very well sideways around the 200-day moving average. And getting back above 14. Did we see it above 14 in the after hours? I don't think so. Did we? No, we did not. So it's still below 14. That's pretty sad. But overall, pretty good move back up, because looks like the stock actually got a little bit damaged today. It was down almost 3%, but completely reversing the move in the after hours and then reclaiming last week's high around 13 bucks. So I think that's going to be the key level to keep an eye out for. You want to see the stock holding above 13 on any dips. That's also the earnings VWAP. So holding above 13 on any dip. And at the same time, if we do get into 14, you want to be careful to not open a new trade until it shows you buying above 14 for at least 15 minutes or longer. Now 15 minutes is just the arbitrary number, but you know, the idea is you want to wait for confirmation that buyers are stepping in above 15 or above 14 for you to even think about opening up a new long over there. Quickly going into TMC. Was it TMC? Yes, TMC. Looks like it actually pushed to the downside, but then maybe right around the conference call time pushed back up. This is also like in the penny stock basket area. Not really a penny stock, but like a low float, whatever. Well, I think this is going to be very simple. You know, I'm not going to overcomplicate it. If the stock is below 5, it's an automatic short for me. If the stock is above 560, 570, then I'm going to, yeah, I'll look for longs, whatever. But besides that, I'm not going to really look for a bigger trade on this name, because the earnings report looked pretty meh, and the stock actually flushed, but then it completely reversed back up. So overall, you're under 5, you're short. If you're not under 5, then you're probably a nothing burger to me. And if you're above 560, then you're probably a long. 569, so 570, we'll just say. All right, keeping an eye on that with orange priority, and we'll see how that sets up overall. SNDK, now I'm expecting you to blast off based on your big EPS beat, and you're not that old of an IPO either. So let's go to the 5-minute chart. Oh, wow, absolutely to the other direction. Did not expect that. SNDK got destroyed even after what we thought was a good report. Yeah, that seems right. Oh, conference call? Maybe they just didn't like what they had to say in the report in general. You would have to dive more into the report, obviously, if you're looking to really psychoanalyze as to why the stock sold off on the report. But look, I'm a day trader. I don't have to do anything crazy like that, because if I do, I'll get biased. So sometimes just quickly looking at the numbers and having a small bias is good. Having too much of a bias completely ruins my trade for me 90% of the time. So I'll just trade the trade. I'll just trade the setup. For now, we're holding 40 bucks, which is a most previous range low. If we're getting below 40, 50, $40, that opens up a lot of room to the downside on this name. But I think from the way we're standing out right now on what I perceive the earnings report to be, there's potentially some support in that area. Also, clearly there is support in that area based on how the chart's looking, right? So expecting more support to show up, and maybe some sort of a relief bounce in that zone for us to get and a move back up. DE. DE sold off today. Let me delete all my lines. Sold off and bounced right off the 200-day moving average. Those are the trades I usually look for, but I didn't even do the prep for today. I just woke up, saw a couple stocks here, saw a couple stocks there, and I said punch, punch, punch. That's it. DE Yeah, I think expecting that stock to bounce from the 470 area was ooh, look at that pre-market low 470, 470.11 actually, and today's low 470.50. So right around that 470 area, you got a double bottom in the market hours, and then you got a triple bottom if you include the pre-market earnings reaction move, and a nice bounce off of that. You're never risking more than what, $2, and your reward is eight bucks all the way back through VWAP. You can even add over here as a fashionably late scalp using the S&B style. So it's just, you know, free money if you just keep an eye out for some of these trades. It's not like John Deere is going bankrupt anytime soon, especially when the market's at all-time high. You know, their reports got to be horrendous for them to really start looking bearish and go UNH mode. But I don't think they're gonna do anything like that anytime soon, right? So nice little bounce off of that 470. We'll see tomorrow, though. Maybe I'll be eating my words because this report was really bad, and they are now looking to sell the crap out of this name. I'm talking more off a day trade side, however. And for tomorrow as a day 2, I'm not sure I'm as interested on this name, because day 1 was where my trade setup would have played out most of the time. Day 2, the stock, I'm expecting volume to die down drastically, and have a lot of spread because of its you know, high notional value. So not really the most interesting stock for me to keep an eye out for on the day trading basket. JD, Jack Daniels, no. John Deere, no. This is JD, the China stock. China actually recently had a catalyst that they're getting a 90-day extension on the tariffs. So that took a couple stocks to the upside. I tried to buy BABA for my own account, but BABA looked pretty weak on that very same day, so I closed that right away for a flat trade. And boy, am I glad I did that, because BABA is now right back into this range over here, but still looking good. I think I'm gonna look to accumulate some shares on BABA somewhere in this 120 to 125 area, and then see if we can get a good opportunity to ride BABA to the upside. But the question on hand over here was JD, which doesn't look like it had any reaction off the earnings report. Well, it did react a little bit, obviously. It went higher, and then pushed back lower, made a new low from compared to yesterday, and just traded sideways around there. But if you look back on the daily chart, I mean, that doesn't really excite me at all. You would have to get under $30.71. Even then, look how many times the stock has broken the low and then bounced right back up. So the stock just does not excite me in general on the breakdown anymore. We'll see if there is a trade tomorrow. I think these two stocks instead will be the names to keep an eye out for, which is CoreWeave and Circle. CoreWeave, insane day 2 opportunity, day 2 short. You know, stock basically opens under yesterday's low, never really tests yesterday's VWAP, and just struggled. Gave you an opening range breakdown and just kept going lower all day. So monster move to the downside on CoreWeave today. Looking for you know, possible day 3 tomorrow. These candles are dangerous. You're getting volume increase as the stock is pushing lower. Has it been 180 days yet? It has been 140 days tomorrow. So with tomorrow being 140 days since IPO, a lot of people who actually have restriction, well, they're not restricted, but they are told to not sell their positions until 90 days of their allocation, especially if you got it on Webull or Robinhood or whatever. You're not supposed to be selling your position until 90 days. And you can see how that lines up picture perfectly around that $190 area. If you do sell it before 90 days, you're not going to be eligible to another IPO allocation, and you would have missed out on Figma or anything else that comes up. So look at how that lines up right after a high explosive important IPO that comes out, that goes absolutely to the north side. 90 days after, you start seeing some selling pressure come in. some selling pressure coming, and then more downside, and then more downside, and then now the earnings pop, and then a complete deletion and push right back down. This looks very similar to another IPO stock that played out recently. Let's check out how many days we played out over here so far. We're still only 70 days in on Circle, okay? Still only 70 days in. And Circle breaking the range low at 149, pushing to the downside, giving us even more extension. I think you know, you can expect the stock to go to 130 tomorrow, and then potentially a bounce from 130 for us to take advantage of as a day trade. So just watching these names, watching the range low 149 come back into play, basically 149, 150. If we do get a pop there and resistance, that's a easy short, no doubt. I don't think you're gonna really have to watch any other names beside CoreWeave and Circle tomorrow. CoreWeave, simple, $100 as your inflection area. If the stock is below 100, you start looking for some shorts on pops. If the stock is above 100, you start looking for longs on pullbacks, and actually wait for the front side of the pullback and not just on the back side of the pullback, right? So basic simple rules applied across the board. Will be profitable if you just watch the right names, and I think the right names, which is always a challenge for people to pick, but I think the right names are clearly obvious for you if you're watching the markets at the moment. RGTI breaking out, so that's potentially worth keeping an eye on for the day 3 trade. They actually broke out on the earnings day, had nothing burger day. Today they pulled up into that $18 area and really struggled to get above 18. But tomorrow, if we get above 18 on RGTI, that's potentially getting some excitement for the quantum name. So keeping an eye on RGTI over here. I might even snag some shares on RGTI on my own account. Boats showing RGTI is at 1786, so I can grab it easily, still under 18, and then add on the move above 18 tomorrow if it plays out. So pretty high priority over here too, because of how we know the stock's past, right? The stock has some violent past every single time it's starting to break out, and has been a great long and a great short right after on the very same day. So keeping an eye on RGTI. IonQ, I just put on IonQ in case it's also breaking out of the trend line that I marked, but it wasn't, so we can delete that. Kava, earnings stock, big down move on the earnings report, still under $70 and struggling around 70. That's still my key level. As long as we are struggling around 70, I think there could be, you know, a short opportunity coming in for the day 3, but volume dying down pretty drastically on this name. How did you actually play out today? Let's keep a look on the stock. Looks like, again, 70, as I told you, key level, just not able to reclaim it. That's also now yesterday's VWAP. Today's VWAP is below yesterday's VWAP, so I think we can look for some potential downside leakage coming back in, but not a purple priority, which is the highest priority. I'm just gonna keep it on the watch list to see if there is a trade, an easy scalp somewhere for us to take advantage on. SE is holding fairly well, but no trade that I see. ON, ooh, this makes things exciting on ON. So pop off the earnings report, sold off, day 2 down, day 3 even more to the downside, and actually testing $44. So anywhere from 44 to 45 on ON. If we're not able to stay around that area, I think is GG for this name. So watching 44, and I think resistance should be very obvious at 45. If we're not staying below 45 this name tomorrow, there's just no short for me at that point. It's just simply no more shorts. Palantir, I think, had a red day today. Yeah, a little bit of a red day on Palantir. Yeah, why am I even asking? I shorted Palantir 180 and I didn't really trade that too well. Palantir having a red day, but volume is going low. It's not really the high priority as it used to be anymore. So I'm just gonna skip past that one. Wolf looks like an episodic pivot. Earnings report, was it? Or some news catalyst episodic pivot? What was the news catalyst? Let's go take a look at this one. There you are. Wolf. Up 59% after the company announced that it signed a 200 million megawatt Is that what it means? MW in a 10-year AI hosting agreement with Fluid Stack. So, you know, popping up 59%. Whoo-wee. So nice breakout of that range over there on Wolf, right back into the upside. And basically, these things are known as episodic pivots. So congratulations to Wolf and their team on that new deal that they made. I don't even know what the hell this deal is, but it's an AI deal, and you guys know how AI is the key word in all things stock market at the moment. So nice pop to the upside. Is it energy, data processing? Okay. Looking for a pullback into that noose anchored VWAP, which would probably be around, you know, where's that anchored VWAP? That would, maybe I should put one in. Right here looks to be the news. So right around 740. Wait, that happened in today pre-market? Oh, okay, so I don't need to put that because that's basically today's VWAP. Even better. Even better. So looking for the stock to pull back into today's VWAP somewhere around $8 to 750. Show some strength, show some dip buy opportunities, and you know, this stock is going to be important to keep an eye on for the next few days, weeks, months. Probably even worth keeping an eye on for the swing side. So I'm gonna put 750 over here, inflection level 8. INTC, I mean, just ridiculous that Trump wants to invest in Intel. The US government is basically looking to buy out the company because the company is failing. I find that hilarious and ridiculous, but it is what it is. We live in a clown world, we live in a simulation. If it works out, congratulations to Intel, congratulations to Intel investors. You know, for me, anytime Intel pops up, it's a short. And if one thing Trump has taught us, Trump always chickens out. So I'm not sure if this deal will ever play out. Does Trump administration even have that much money to think about doing something like that? How are they going to get this money? Is it from that surplus? Hey, why not put that surplus into paying the debt? You know, instead of making people Venmo you money so you can pay the debt off. Like, what are we talking about here, man? People are buying Intel because of a stupid article like that. I don't even know what to say anymore. So I think any pop on Intel tomorrow, 24, 25, 26. I'm just watching every single dollar level on Intel to short and take it back to the downside. It's just as simple as that. I could be, you know, very, very stupid and ignorant by even looking for these trade opportunities, but you know, this news just doesn't make any sense to me. This news sounds fake news. It sounds stupid, and you know, it sounds like Barron loaded up Intel right before he launched this news, and then tomorrow you're gonna see Barron take profits. So I don't get it. I don't get it. AMCR, Amcor reported earnings and then dropped pretty hard to the downside, looks like, but no, 93 million shares traded today. Pretty decent volume. Previously, you can see how the stock goes down into this area and pops right back up. Whoa, man, this stock has a very violent drop in pop history. So maybe that's indicative of something. Maybe you can see how any day it drops, it pops right back up the next few days and goes up. So if that's the story, maybe we go long here somewhere tonight or tomorrow and look for the move back up. I don't know. I'm just looking at history real quick and seeing how it's playing out. But I'm not saying it's a true strategy to pull out right now. So I'm not even gonna look at this name tomorrow most likely, because my attention is gonna be right here. Those three stocks. Wolf is gonna take my attention a little bit. We talked about UNH already earlier in the day. You know, UNH, if it does get above 320, I think we're really game on for even bigger long moves to the upside, as some of the shorts are getting absolutely squozed out at the moment, and you're seeing buyers really pile back in. But I don't think we see above 320 tomorrow. So if the stock goes into 320 and shows me resistance, I'll be shorting it and having some quick little scalp opportunities, maybe back into 315 or whatever, maybe even back into 300, who knows. So taking those scalp opportunities from 320 if I get it. But if the stock is at 300 and it's showing me you know, absolute beautiful strength at 300, or the VWAP's at 300 and the stock is pulling back and it's holding 300 every time on the dips, is this a no-brainer long at that point? I would love to go long around 300, risk like 298 or something, and then watch the stock go up to 320. So I'd be risking $2 to make what, $18, $20? That would be a much better trade to be involved in, and then I can flip short on the failure to hold 320 and so on. So just a couple ideas over there to what I'm going to be doing on this name. This is also a very, very high priority. Ooh, my little wand almost fell off. TPR, what the hell is that? A little bit of a down move on the earnings report. $95 stock, traded 13 million shares today. Tapestry, ooh, I remember Tapestry IPO. So TPR, yeah. Maybe I don't remember their IPO because I was not trading that long ago. Was I even alive when this IPO? God damn. Okay, I was alive, but there's no way I know this IPO. Tapestry, TPR, pulling back on the earnings report. Looks like it dropped right into, and this is something I've been noticing a lot right now. The stocks dropped right into previous earnings anchored VWAP, and just bounced right off of that level. So looks like 92 is important. Do I care about the stock for a day two? Not really. Bullish IPO day two. How much volume did you trade today? Not bad. And how did you trade today? Looks like a little choppy, back and forth. Not sure about the volume, but with how crypto is trading at the moment, for sure a high priority name, because BTC looks like it just had a bearish engulfing. So obviously a nice breakout on BTC, but then a complete reject, that candle high and the candle low, engulfing the previous candle. So bearish engulfing. Ideally you want to see it hold above the moving averages. The green one is the 50-day moving average, the orange is the 21-day moving average. So ideally you want to see it holding above the moving averages. You know, stocks, instruments in general, this is not a stock but this is an instrument, in general, don't go bearish above the 50-day moving average. Very, very simple mechanics. So it's, as long as it's still above the 50, you know, you can call this bearish engulfing, you can call it doomsday candle, you can call it you know, F the longs candle, whatever you want to call it. For me, as long as it's above the 50-day moving average, it's still all systems go to the long side, and then we can talk about the scenario later. But obviously you want to protect your profits on the pops. On what was it, Don Van Boord, hopefully I'm saying your name right, sir, from Revere Assets. He talks about how you want to take profits into strength and then trail the EMAs. That's the best thing I've ever heard in my life. Take profits as the stocks are pushing up on high volume into new prices, and then you trail the rest to the EMAs. That way you're not really taking losses, and even if you are, based on what your average is and so on, you know, you already booked in some profits from earlier, so your hits are not that big of a hit as they would have been before, right? So just keep an eye out for how Bitcoin's moving at the moment. But with that bearish engulfing, obviously, you know, gotta love Coinbase, gotta love MicroStrategy, gotta love IBIT, gotta love Bullish, Circle. These are all your cryptocurrency names that you can keep an eye out for if Bitcoin starts to look weak again. Even Ethereum ETFs. Did I not say... Fuck! Did I not say first red day coming in for these stocks very soon? I mean, look at that. First red day on Ethereum was picture perfect. How did BMNR set up? BMNR probably sold off a little bit. Yes, look at that. Nice little sell off on BMNR. ATNF probably sold off a lot. 28% down on ATNF. Guys, I called this out to you yesterday. It was so easy. Well, not yesterday. I called it out to you the day before. So easy, man. That's all you had to do. Wow, so sad. So sad that I just kept sleeping. Missing out. But you get the idea. Day 2 tomorrow, so a pop, and with the way the candle looks over here, that's pretty bearish. So we'll see if we get a pop into today's VWAP and reject around today's VWAP on the Ethereum ETF. If Ethereum is struggling and Bitcoin struggling, Ethereum can pull back a lot more than Bitcoin can pull back because of how much of an insane run Ethereum has right now compared to Bitcoin, right? Ethereum just recently had a crazy breakout and a run up, so Ethereum could pull back a lot more if Bitcoin wants to start looking weak, and that's when fun really opens up on these names too. So ETHA, keep an eye out for that one. Apple, I mean, I'm happy I bought some of this name around this area, but boy, am I not smart to buy more. Bought very little of Apple. Look, I'm not stupid enough to hate money, right? I might hate Apple, but I love money. So I bought Apple shares right around this breakout area, and Apple has been making a great trajectory up to the north side and doing great things. However, Amazon absolutely hurt me, and now it's looking like it wants to do amazing things by going back to the upside. So sometimes they work for you, sometimes they don't. But you know, the story is these large cap stocks at the moment are looking like they want to behave right finally, which means I don't even know if 35 is a resistance. I think it was 35. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is these large cap stocks are finally looking to behave right, which is get back above the 200-day moving average. Which ones were the ones that were struggling? I think Apple was the one struggling. Google clearly above in the 200 area now, so you're not struggling at all. Very close to all-time high. Apple, Amazon, I'm thinking all of them are now above the 200-day, right? Microsoft's into the all-time highs. Meta's into the all-time highs. Microsoft's actually holding a very good base. Nvidia, Tesla is the only other one now that's you know, very around 200-day moving average. I'm actually long TSLL, and I might buy some more if we start holding in this area a little bit better. Maybe I'll just buy Tesla directly. We'll see. But all the top 7 stocks in the large cap basket are all above the 200-day moving average now. So is it really the time to be looking for bearish moves on the market? You know, I'm seeing a lot of people be bearish on the market, call it the top. Like, yeah, maybe if Apple was continuing to be weak, maybe if other stocks were continuing to be weak, now you got all of the Mag 7 above the 200-day moving average. Okay? You know, what are you gonna say when Apple has a 50-day moving average crossing the 200-day? What are you gonna say then? You know, the golden crossover, and now all the bears are all of a sudden bulls, and you're not gonna hear bear chatter on Twitter at all. So, you know, I used to be in that box where I used to identify as a bear or a bull. I mean, realistically, I make more money on the short side than the longs in my day trades. I'm just, I guess, a better short trader. I execute better on the short side. But realistically, I'm more of just a contrarian trader. When a stock is really extended, that's where I make my best of my trades, where I'm looking for that mean reversion back to VWAP. I'm looking to be a contrarian and make that money on the other direction. But you know, the easiest money usually is just following the direction, just following the trend, looking for the VWAP continuation. Example, my trade on the day on Circle, right? Just looking for the VWAP continuation on a stock. Look to understand the nuances behind it, which is exactly what I gotta do in about 6 minutes or so. So I'm gonna go make some food. I'm gonna do some psychoanalysis on why Circle chart was so good today. Obviously, they had an offering and so on. I'm gonna also look into some of the other charts on the day, like Wolf, and see if I need to study something over there, and basically write notes and nuances and so on. The little tricks you need to do here and there to get better at trading. But in the large cap basket, basically, yeah, watch all of them, because market's looking very frothy at the moment. Look at AMD. nice breakout back above 180 and basically trying to convert that 180 area into support for AMD right now. Micron goes very, very back and forth for the last few days from what I've been watching it, but the main area to keep an eye on for Micron is that right there, the 130. Once we start breaking above 130, you probably need, you know, Nvidia doing something crazy, AMD doing something crazy to do this, but Micron is gearing up for an eventual breakout above 130, so keep an eye out for that one over there. But yeah, the go-to basket always on watch. This is the main basket over here. This is also a little bit of the second main basket to keep an eye on, and then obviously the Bitcoin market. Let's go to the econ calendar. I didn't see anything on IPO calendar, which is good. I want a little break from the IPO market. You know, maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe give me IPOs every single day, because those are actually the most profitable things for me. So yes, give me hot IPOs every day, but sadly no hot IPO tomorrow. Econ calendar showing us that we have, it's a Friday, so we got core retail sales numbers, Michigan sentiment numbers, Atlanta GDP number, Baker Hughes, some commodity numbers over here, as we always do on Friday. But the main things are the 3-star events, which are the core retail sales, 830. That's about it, looks like. Everything else is just 2-star. So yeah, retail sales 830. Sometimes I do see the market moving around on the Michigan sentiment numbers or the Atlanta GDP number. If they do come as a big surprise from the forecast, so you want to be careful. You're comparing it to the previous, you're looking at the forecast, and you're looking at the actual. If it doesn't come out in line as the market's looking, then the market sometimes gets spooked and moves around with that. If you want to just cut out all of that nonsense and just keep an eye on what people are looking at for the interest rate decision and the probabilities, this tool is actually very accurate. It's a Chicago Mercantile Group tool made for the Fed rate watch, and right now it's at a 92.1%. This is exactly what it was earlier before the CPI came out, and then right before CPI it dropped to like a 80-70 number, and then after CPI we got this move right back up to 92. So we're holding fairly steady right now at the 92 percentile, 92 probability percentage, sorry, that we're gonna get a rate cut on the 17th of September, which is next month. Man, 17th September already. The year's almost coming to an end, folks. Almost to an end. Market, I almost forgot about a couple stocks you want me to take a look at. You said Oscar and CNC. I did look at all other stocks you wanted me to take a look at anyway, so we can go look at OSCR for you. I'm not a big fan of you know, health tech companies at all, and I've told you this a bunch of times. But if you really want to look for a long, I mean, yeah, maybe there's a long here. Your stop is $11. You're risking about 26%. You're risking about 24% by going long in this area, but your reward is basically back into this range. And this reminds me of very much like a stock that I've seen in the past, which is Zim. If you go to Zim, yeah, if you go to Zim, you can see how many times it's just traded in this range, back and forth, absolutely boring. But there's money to be made in boring, right? Things don't have to be fun to make money. There's money to be made in boring. So if you're interested in that, Oscar could potentially give you something like that. Obviously, this is something that I'm not interested in at all. Because I want to park my money in something that's going to be a lot more active. I like parking my money in stocks like A-Lab, Reddit, although I got stopped out at A-Lab. But parking my money in stocks like A-Lab, Reddit. Look at Apple right now. Look how quick and fast I'm making money on this position on that breakout. Am I really worried about you know, what Oscar is gonna do in that range low? No, I'm not parking my money in this range low. I'm taking my money when the volume's coming in, when it's active, and I'm riding it to the upside. So A-Lab, I should have probably done that, waited for the breakout. Sadly, the breakout happened right as the earnings report happened, right? So missing out on the buy in this area, that was stupid off me. And would have been able to capture a monster run up over here. But right now, you know, Reddit actually standing out as a very parabolic and extended stock. You are currently how much? 50-60% away from the, yeah. So Reddit is, oh, what, really? Not even 4 ATR above in 5 days, but you look pretty goddamn extended to me, dude. A new all-time high on Reddit. You are up 57% away from the 200-day moving, from the 50-day moving average. That is 12 ATR away from the 50-day moving average, and you know, stock is going nutso mode. So Reddit probably needs to actually go on the watch list tomorrow too. Keep an eye on this one for the next few days, next few weeks. Tomorrow is a Friday, so that makes it a lot more exciting. 245, 240, 250 will probably be what do you call it? An options gamma level, a gex level. I think a put wall is the word I'm looking for, and actually there's a website that I can go for it. Let's see if I can get my assistant to open it for me. Open the bar chart gex levels for Reddit stock. Why are you opening it in a little private tab, bro? Open it for me. Alright, fine, I'll open it for myself. But it did it. It was doing it. No, don't dox me, dude. But what was it doing over here? Let's take a look at it. Gamma flip point. Ooh, look at that shit. That's awesome, man. Look at that. I don't even have to open the website. It scanned the website for me, and it basically gave me what I'm looking for. Call wall, put wall, gamma flip level. This is actually very interesting to know, because this is when, if the stock gets back under 204, basically 205, 204, 200, if it gets back under that, it's going to most likely see some delta unwinding coming into play, where options hedgers who are currently you know, writing 204, 205, 200 calls, they're gonna have to own some shares, so when they get exercised, they have to, you know, give those shares away. But if the stock is now under 204 and their price is above 204 or 205, they don't need to own those shares anymore, so they can dump them and unwind that, and you're gonna see some big move on the other side coming in. But 204 is a long way away from where the stock currently is, which is 245, and you can see the call wall apparently, I'm gonna confirm this really quick, the call wall apparently is at 250, the put wall is at 230. Let's go confirm these bad boys. Oh, they look like you are correct. So put wall, call wall, 230, call wall, and look at that. I don't have to sit here and get an annoying ad, and I don't have to sit here interacting with the chart and I have to turn on this little, okay. But it does all of that for me. Awesome, man. I love AI tools. Okay, things just can't get any better than that. So the gamma flip is really far, really far. But these levels will be very interesting. The call wall is basically your main resistance tomorrow. And as I said, 250, that's your marker. Expect the stock to probably go to 250, and then we are looking heavy short on this name tomorrow. Heavy short. And that might even be my YouTube video for tonight. So I'll quickly record that video right now. Or actually, I'll just record it off stream, and then I'll edit it so you guys can watch it. That'll be a little fresh video for you guys, so you guys give me that view count. Alright guys, go hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. It means the world to me. It helps me out a lot, grows my channel, which I've been streaming for God knows how long now to not much growth coming out of it. So you know, it would mean the world to me if you hit the like, hit the subscribe, do the little engagement stuff that you have to do to grow a channel. At the same time, follow me on all social media. The link tree is on all the streaming platforms that you're watching me, but I'll paste it in the chat at the same time. Go check out my social media accounts up here. My affiliate sponsors are all down over here: Traders Insight, Trade Ideas, Trader Sync, Benzinga, and Flash Research. Very soon I'll be sponsored by Cobra Trading. That means we will not be able to wear the Clear Street hat anymore. Maybe I'll have to go backwards on the hat. But yes, very soon we'll be sponsored by a broker. That'll be awesome. And any way you want to contact me, obviously you know how to do it. Ask the AI to grow your channel. I have, and you know, it tells me to do a lot more work that sadly I don't want to do. It's a lot of work, man. I gotta do video editing. I gotta do you know, recording offline content. I have to post this. I have to do that. I have to do this. I have a fucking job. I have to go to work, and it takes me 2 hours to go to work and 2 hours to come back home. I got things to do. I gotta walk my dog right now still, and it's like 9 p.m. and I still haven't eaten dinner. So like, I still gotta do homework. I still gotta do this. Like, I still gotta do that. Like, how much time does a person have in a fucking day? Am I gonna get sleep at all? So you know, all the things that AI wants me to do to grow the channel is crazy. But that's what it takes, right? I knew what it took to grow a channel before it told me anyways. But anyways, a little rant over there, little rant. What was I gonna quickly show off? Do something, but I forgot. So I guess I'm gonna head over and call the stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. No, I'll see you guys Monday. Unless Monday is closed. I don't think so. I'll see you guys Monday for a brand new week. Have fun on the markets. Let's close it with a bang. Peace out, chat. Back to another brand new week up after the after hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. It might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors: Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync. Promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.